Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Dallas Stars franchise mode. So in last episode, we made a trade acquiring Yuri Sliger from the Vancouver Canucks to help us out defensively. We still finished as one of the worst defensive teams in the entire league in terms of our penalty kill and regular strength. But we're up here still in the playoffs because our offense was great, and we're up against the 51-22 6-3 Detroit Red Wings, who finished second best in the league. So I'm kind of scared of them, but we might be able to beat them because they do have a weaker defensive core, but their goaltending was really good during the regular season, and then their offense was really good as well. So should be a really tough battle, but if we can manage to do this, we might be able to beat pretty much any team, except for probably the Jets. Okay, so let's get into game number 1 and see what could happen. We're on the road to start this off, and we'll be on the road for pretty much all the beginning of the playoffs, as long as we don't play a team that in the Eastern Conference that's below us. But Sandis Ozolic is back. That's great news because he was injured close to the end of the season last year, and I didn't think we were going to make the playoffs because of that injury, but he has returned, which means we could take out Lindback, because Lindback is now our depth defender because of the fact he's been horrific defensively. But there's our new defensive core looking pretty good. I could change Pavelski and Patrick around, but Pavelski had a pretty good rookie season with 33 points. Patrick had 20-something. He had 21. So we could alternate these two throughout the playoffs to see how that works. And yeah, hopefully Jaguar could play great in this playoff run, because I think this is his first time playing in the playoffs with us, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this is his first time with us. Okay, well, let's get into game number 1 in Detroit. See if we could take it on the road and, yeah, take that 1-0 series lead. Come on, boys. First period, and it is scoreless. Shots are 12-10 in favor of Detroit, but no goals, so I'll take that considering we're not a good defensive team, but we played a good defensive period there. Second period, and it's 2-0 us. Let's go. 2 power play goals. Okay. Our power play was actually pretty good during the regular season. Like, I think it was top 10. And we get goals from DeSantis and Sador, so the 2 left wingers getting some goals for us, so that's nice to see. Shots are 25-19 in favor of us. Let's see what happens here in the third if we could just lock this one down. And Wong makes it 3-0, and Till makes it 4-0. But Goldman's going to make it 4-1. Hopefully our offense doesn't dry up after game 1, though. Dackel makes it 4-2. Come on, Jaguar, just close it down, man. We're out shooting them only by a little bit, but they're trying to make a comeback here in this third. Final couple minutes, and we are going to lock it down as Antilla gets his second in a night as an empty netter as we win 5-2. So we scored 5 goals on the probably Vezina winning goaltender, which is pretty good. But the only problem is I don't know if our offense is going to keep it up. So DeSantis from Lindell, Sador from Wong and Pavelski, Wong from Pavelski and Clancy, Antilla from Drake and Soleil, and Antilla from Drake. So our youthful guys are coming through with points in that one. Antilla gets first star with 2 goals, Goldman the second star, and Wong the third. Okay, so let's get to game number 2. We are still on the road, but we did take game 1, so at least we could, at the worst, we're going to split games in Detroit, which is not too bad. Hopefully we could do good when we get to home ice. So here we go, game number 2 in Detroit. Let's see if we could take a 2-0 series lead on the second best team in the league. First period, and it's 1-0 them, and it's Dallas Drake, our former player from last season, trying to get a Stanley Cup in probably one of his last seasons in the NHL. Shots are 9-7 in favor of us. Let's see what happens here in the second, and it's a 3-1 lead for Detroit. Not good. So Lapierre takes a 2-0 lead for Detroit. Then Clancy pulls us within 1, but Savret with a late goal to make it a 3-1 game. We're going to need a third period comeback if we want to win this one. We only have 11 shots throughout 2 periods, so we kind of need to get a lot more shots in this game if we want to win. So here you go, third period. See if we can get any more goals, despite the lack of shots. Penalty kill. Nicely done. We're running out of time, though. Come on, boys. Yeah, we have less than 20 shots in this game, and there's another goal from Mike Medano, 3-2, and that is going to be it, though. We almost managed to win that game despite only having 21 shots on goal. So Chris Osgood's not been that good for them so far in the series, but it's a tied series headed back to Dallas. So Clancy from Wong and Ozelinch and Medano from Drake and Attila are our only goals. 3 stars in that game, all Detroit Red Wings players. Okay, so that wasn't that bad of a game. It was just more the fact that we let in 3 goals in the first 2 periods and we didn't get enough shots, I think. So if we could get more shots this game, I think we might be able to somehow come away with the victory. But let's see what happens here on home ice. Hopefully our offense didn't dry up after that Game 1 win. First period back in Dallas. Let's see what happens. And it's 1-0 us. Nicely done. And it's Sidor. So Sidor's got 2 goals in his first 3 games of the series. Shots are 9-3 in favor of us. So this time we're playing better in terms of taking shots. Because last time we only had 21 shots throughout the all 3 periods. They only got 3 shots in that opening period. Second period, and it's still 1-0. Nicely done, boys. Shots are 19-15 now in favor of us, so it is getting a bit more tighter in terms of offense. But both goalies have been pretty solid so far throughout, too. Let's see what happens here in the third. Come on, Jaguar, just lock it down. Penalty kill. Oh, and Goldman's going to score a power play goal for Detroit. Come on, boys. Mike Medano, we want to get you that another Stanley Cup, man. We've won 1 Stanley Cup with you before, but that was really early into this franchise mode. Are we going to be going to overtime in game number 3? Yes, we are. Shots are now 28-27 in favor of Detroit, so we've been kind of falling back a bit since the first period. We haven't actually had a goal since in the first period, too, so we need to find a way to beat Osgood for the second time. So let's see what happens here in overtime. Who wants to be that hero for us? Pavelski, the young defenseman, maybe? Patrick, power play for us? We don't get it done. Come on, boys. Use that power play to our advantage. We had 2 power play goals in game 1. And there's going to be the winner, and it's going to be Clancy. So, yeah, our young guys have been actually stepping up a lot in this playoff so far. 2-1 win and a nice game from Jaguar. So Sidor from Lindell and Holwig and Clancy from Wong and DeSantis are our goals. It's a pretty good defensive game. We've been actually playing somewhat decent defensively, and Jaguar killed it. He absolutely killed it. Osgood gets second start and Sidor the third. So that was a goaltending duel. Duel. I almost said duo, but a duel in that game. But yeah, so far we've been actually pretty good defensively in the playoffs. We've allowed, let's see, 2, 3. We've only allowed 6 goals in 3 games, so we're allowing only an average of 2 goals a game. So hopefully we can continue that all playoffs long. Let's see what happens here in game number 4 as we are still on home ice. Hopefully we could take a 3-1 series lead here. Come on, boys. First period, and it's 1-0 Detroit. This is a pretty back-and-forth series, it seems like. This time they're out shooting us badly, 13-6. Jeff Shantz with the goal, beating Jaguar from like the face-off dot area. Second period, and it's still 1-0 Detroit. So this time Chris Osgood seems to be playing really good, unlike Jaguar in last game. Shots are 20-16 in favor of Detroit. Come on, boys. We've been good defensively, but we just need to get that offense going like what we did during the regular season and in game 1. Power play for us, we don't score on it. Come on, Mike Medano. There's a goal from Wong. Okay, our first line comes through with the goal. I don't think they've had much this series. Shots are actually pretty close in this game as well. And we are going back to overtime for the second straight game. And it's going to be another 2-1 victory for whoever wins this one. So this has been a pretty good series to watch in terms of, like, not offense, but just good defensive play. So let's see what happens here in overtime. Can we win this game in OT for the second straight game? No, we cannot. An early goal from Goldman beats Jaguar, and we're going to lose this one 2-1. And this series is going to go at least 6 games. So Wong from Ozelinch and Clancy is their only goal. So our offense has not been the greatest in this playoff run so far. Like in game 1 it was good, but since then it's kind of shriveled up a bit. But we are still winning some games, which is good. But yeah, this is a really back and forth series right now. The last 3 games have been all 1-goal games. Okay, so we have a 2-2 series, and we head to Detroit again. Hopefully we can win it on the road for the second time this playoff run and take a 3-2 series lead, because I do not want to have our back against a wall in Dallas. So here we go. Let's see what happens here. First period of game number 5, and it's 1-1. Okay. Hybrid scores early for them, but Holwig will score late for us. Shots are 9-8 in favor of us, so this is a pretty even game as well. I wonder if it's going to be another 2-1 victory for whoever wins. And for some reason, Tim Thomas is in net for Detroit. So I guess Osgood might have been injured. I hope he was injured. Or he might have just been randomly pulled, like that happens sometimes. Second period, and still 1-1. So if Osgood isn't in net, we need to take advantage of this opportunity. Shots are 17 apiece, and it's a 1-1 game throughout 2. Let's see what happens here in the third. Come on, boys. Who wants to be the big man to step up for us? It's going to be Yuri Sliger, the trade acquisition on the power play. Nice. Wasn't expecting him to come through with a goal, but he does, and then Kozlov ties it up for Detroit. Yeah, this is a really back and forth series. He might be going to overtime for the third straight game. And yes, that is going to be the case. The shots are pretty even again, 28-27. The last 4 games have been 1-goal games. And Tim Thomas is still in net for them, so we need to take advantage of this, guys. Who wants to be the hero for us? Didn't Tim Thomas actually play in Dallas at one point? And there's a hero for us, and it's going to be youngster Antilla, who we were debating about not playing in our lineup this season, but we did. And he comes through with his 3rd goal of the playoffs already, and we win 3-2 in overtime. And we're 1 win away from knocking out the Detroit Red Wings. So Holwig from Sidor and Lundell, Sliger from DeSantis and Lundell, and Antilla from Medano and Drake. 3 stars in that game. Jaguar with another great game. Hybert and Antilla gets 3rd star with the game-winning goal. Oh, this is such a back-and-forth series, and it's always on edge. Like, look at all these last 4 games. 3 straight games in overtime, and in 1 game where it was just a 1-goal, 1 in regulation. And in game 1, we just blew them out of the water. Well, not really blow them out of the water, but still. Damn, okay. So we head to game 6. We have home ice advantage technically now. If we win this game, we win the series. If not, we are going to a game 7 situation back in Detroit, which will be pretty tough. So let's see what happens here in game 6. See if we could win the series and knock off a 108-point team. First period, 1-0 us. Let's go. DeSantis on the power play, beating Chris Osgood, who is now back in net. Shots are 12-7 in favor of us. Second period, 2-0 us. Let's go Antilla again. Antilla's got 4 goals. This is 78 overall in the playoffs. Shots are 22-15 in favor of us. Let's just lock this one down and see if we could get into that second round. We haven't been in the second round in quite a while, I think. I don't even remember the last time we made it to the second round. Last 10 minutes of this third period. Jaguar's been actually fantastic as a playoff goalie, at least so far. Goldman gets Detroit on the board to make it 2-1, but Clancy answers right back to give us that 2-goal advantage. And there's a goal from Wong as well. And we are off to the second round with a 4-1 victory. So despite having such a bad defensive play during the regular season, we've been fantastic in the playoffs. And we're off to the second round, knocking out a 108-point Detroit Red Wings team. So DeSantis from Lindell and Pavelski, and Antilla from Medano and Drake, Clancy from DeSantis and Wong from DeSantis and Clancy. So DeSantis had 3 points in that game. He gets 1st star, Clancy gets 2nd star, and Wong the 3rd. But man, we are off to the second round. I was not expecting that really, especially with us being a team that just barely made it in. But it's kind of realistic because sometimes when we are a really good simulator, we get beat by a team that just barely makes the playoffs. So we managed to knock them out. Who are we going to be going up against in round 2 is the question. Please don't be Winnipeg, because Winnipeg, that top line is probably filthy, and it's going to be Winnipeg. So we're going to have to one-up this series win in 6 games and go up against a 109-point team in the Winnipeg Jets. If we manage to beat them, we would knock out 2 of the best 2 teams in the league. So this is crucial. We beat this, maybe we have a chance to go farther. Whew, damn, this is going to be really a really tough lineup, especially that first line. Let's take a look at our player stats still for the first round, and then we'll take a look at those Winnipeg Jets. I'm kind of scared because I know Kozlov had like that 100 and something point season with 66 goals. Tkachuk is insane. I don't know who else is on that line. But Wong, 7 points in 6 games. Clancy, point per game. DeSantis, point per game. Yeah, our offense was fantastic also in that round. Like, everybody on the team had points except for Helmer, Knights, Ewan, Franzen, and Patrick. So, basically an offensive defenseman that doesn't get a whole lot of ice time. Helmer, who's defensively minded, and then the fourth line in general had no points, but everybody else had a point. And then plus-minus wise, we had one line, our fourth line only, who was a -4. So our fourth line we might need to kind of tweak around a bit, but I don't want to move players down in the lineup, so our fourth line is our main concern right now. Goalie-wise, though, Jaguar was fantastic with a 4-1-1 record with a .941 save percentage and a 1.74 goals against average, so he was fantastic. Hopefully that continues into the next round. Let's take a look now at those Winnipeg Jets rosters. Hopefully they aren't that scary of a team down in terms of depth. Like, they have probably a really good top line, but I'm not sure about how their depth is and how their defensive core is. Probably pretty good considering they won the President's Trophy. So here's their roster: Keith Tkachuk, I almost said Tkachuk. Keith Tkachuk, Victor Kozlov, and Dylan Guenther. How did Dylan Guenther play this year? 93 points. So yeah, he's been pretty fantastic for them as well. And then yeah, Kozlov, we know about him. He had 6 more goals in 5 games in the first round. So he's up to 7 points in 5 games. And Tkachuk had 8 assists. Yeah, we need to shut down that top line. Then second line, they have Ned Schmaltz, Nicholas Bjorkstrand, and Roberto Fowler. So all young guys. Mark Benson, Jacques Vanier, and Pasi Koskinen. Some more young guys. And Leonov, Gabo, and Whitney. So overall wise, that third and fourth line are not the greatest, but their top 6 is pretty decent. And then defensively, they have Roenick and Grin, Bochenski, and Bilas. And then Anders Eriksson's still playing, and Levo. So yeah, their defense is not the greatest either, but they did still win the President's Trophy, so we can't rule that out. And then goalie-wise, they have an 81 in Caden Rizzi and also Jacques Lecavalier. So yeah, they're kind of weak in terms of their goalies and defense, but that top line just is filthy. And then depth-wise, they have Primo, McPherson, and Ebbett. I don't know what to really make of the team, because they were really good during the regular season, but I don't see any reason why they wouldn't be worse than they were. Like, their top line was great. Like, maybe they just have good chemistry. Let me just take a look at how they did during the regular season in terms of their stuff. So they had 23 more points than us. They had 52 wins, 22 losses, 5 ties, 3 OT losses. They scored 334 goals, so it was mostly probably their first line that got that, but they were a really good offensive team. In terms of goals against, they were pretty solid, I think, in terms of the entire league. And in power play percentage, they were fantastic. And penalty kill, they were not the greatest. So we need to watch out for their power play, it looks like. And then they were really good in both their home ice and on the road. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Dallas Stars franchise mode. So in next episode, we will take it to the second round where we take on the Winnipeg Jets and look to somehow upset a team that was really fantastic during the regular season for the second straight time. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next time.